again, Colorado Mills Mall is going to be mad that we got inside today, but we can show you the storm damage. Denver's new idea to help the homeless is a throwback to our school days. He could have chosen revenge for a murder. That was the gang life. He chose a new road that leads him across the stage tonight as a valedictorian. Can I kick it? Wrong question. It's can she kick it? And yes, she can. America's first female football player on scholarship. Coming to Colorado. You'll meet her next. I'm sure Colorado Mills would really prefer we stop talking about the mall and whether the storm damage will truly keep it closed through November, and how much tax money is being lost, and why tenants can't get straight answers, and whether 3,000 employees deserve better than that. If we had that information, maybe we wouldn't have needed a store owner to give us a little behind-the-scenes tour today. There are tarps covering the floor at Colorado Mills in Lakewood, and it's covering what appears to be the kiosks there. There are garbage bags all over the place. Some of the stores are closed up and dark, not really clear what state they're in. Other stores appear like they could open tomorrow. They're stocked and lit. A lot of the damage, though, is only clear if you know what was there.
I'm the owner of the candy store at Colorado Mills Shopping Mall. We own the popcorn kiosk, the train runs in the mall, and the snack store, candy store. I'll take you a little tour. It's pretty messed up right now. So you can see all the water I'm stepping on. We are out of power still, as you see. And it's pretty humid here, as you can smell. And health department was here also. They told us just trash every perishable food we have, so we can then resell it, which is about $50,000–$60,000 product we have to trash. Mall is gonna fix all the walls. As you can imagine, we called the insurance as soon as possible, and we bought the insurance that the mall management told us, and they are saying it's just a liability and we are not getting a penny from them. Everything you see not attached to the wall, I am responsible. The ceiling falling. Well, they soaked up with the water, got really heavy, and just started falling. You need to buy insurance liability plus another insurance for the merchandise we are selling, I guess, which we didn't know. The health department said just trash everything. And you can see it's pretty wet inside the bags. I need to check with them if I just save some of these candies. We've been in the mall over 10 years. We love the mall, but now we are stranded and not many people helping us, including mall management. We're just getting emails once a week or so just saying we're gonna open 6 months. We're doing our best to fix them all. We'll see. We're hoping to come back when they open.
You heard right there, nobody's gotten a solid answer on when the mall will reopen, not even the tenants and employees. There's a memo from the mall owner that said November. Then again, this is the memo that the mall owner would not confirm was real while it was posted on their own website. Common sense would tell you to lie low in the weeks before you're set to be sentenced on a felony. But a lack of common sense has filled many a newscast over the years. Take, for instance, the guy tracked down in Lakewood by Jeremy Hohola from our 9 Wants to Know team. The guy has a tax problem. He just can't quit doing them.
The saga of Hugh Madison began 3 years ago when we asked him if he had ever lied on his customer taxes.
What is a lie?
He lied on my taxes. He lied on my husband's taxes.
Customers claimed he filed false returns to get bigger refunds.
I paint, and so he started adding all these expenses.
He was indicted and pleaded guilty, which could have been the end of the story. But while he was free, waiting to be sentenced...
How you doing? Jeremy Hohola with 9 News.
We found Madison behind his desk, still handling customer taxes.
So you are handling tax paperwork then for people?
Yeah, I help fix the paperwork. Yeah.
Because of our reporting in April, an IRS agent visited his office too. In court, the IRS said he filed more false returns while awaiting sentencing. The judge didn't like that. She said this was a calculated crime, a creative crime that continued after the plea agreement was entered.
Get a good shot?
Outside, family members were more interested in showing us their sweaters than answering questions as he walked out. But his freedom is only temporary. Madison has to turn himself into prison soon because of the extra false returns 9 Wants to Know exposed.
What is a lie?
His lies end with 21 months in prison. For Next, I'm Jeremy Hohola.
We'll see if the judge regrets that decision to allow Madison to remain free and then come in for what could be a very interesting sentencing hearing. Denver is getting its first new permanent shelter beds for men in nearly 30 years. Rescue Mission is going to bus men from downtown up to a warehouse it owns at 39th and Holly where they can spend the night there. 228 new beds for guys who are willing to come in out of the elements. This plan is going to be all over the news tomorrow. The shelter should open up in November or December as the real cold sets in. One of the common reasons that we've always heard directly from homeless people in Denver on why they sometimes avoid shelters is because they don't want to leave any of their stuff behind. Let's take a look at the city's new sidewalk storage locker program. 10 lockers installed along Lawrence Street, Park Avenue. To qualify to use them, people would have to prove that they're involved in workforce training or health and shelter services, getting on the right track, and they'll have use of those lockers for a month at a time. He's a former gang member who learned that rivals had killed his son just before his release from prison for murder. If he had gotten out and killed someone in retaliation, that certainly would have been on every newscast in Denver. He made a different choice. He went in a different direction, and we think that ought to be news too.
My name is Terrell LeVar Burton Sr., and I'm graduating as valedictorian from the Upstream Impact Program. It actually has been a very long and difficult journey. When I was younger, unfortunately made a mistake, and unfortunately I took the life of another man. I was sentenced to 30 years in prison. I just felt like my life was over, but I knew that eventually I'd come home, so I knew that change had to start with me. So for me, my focus was getting back home to my children. But unfortunately, a week before I was released from prison, my 18-year-old son was shot and killed. And that was the hardest thing for me to ever deal with. Me going to prison was nothing compared to that. But now I live for him, and I live for my daughter and my grandsons. So for me, success is my only option. There's no turning back for me. There's no giving up for me. My beautiful daughter, Tajay, she pushes me to succeed and to be a better father because I wasn't there for all them years. And it hurts because I know that I should have been there for my children. But just so she know I ain't going nowhere, and I'll be here for whatever she needs. And I'm so proud of her. She graduates this weekend. And I used to always tell my daughter that I'll be home before you graduate. And by the grace of God, I'm here. I didn't see it, I didn't know how, but I'm here. I'm very grateful.
Terrell graduates tonight. Ceremony is about to start, along with the rest of his life. We wish him the best. The most Colorado thing we saw today is an epic 80th birthday party where the dancing shoes were swapped out for a pair of what we're told are 40-year-old ski boots. Jim hit A Basin with his family and friends today. They chilled and grilled on the beach, aka the parking lot. Hawaiian shirts, leis, hula skirts. Yeah, it's pretty Colorado. Happy 80th, Jim. Today was the nicest day of the week. A lot of good that does telling you now, right? The snowiest thing we've seen today is the reason no one's driving Trail Ridge Road this holiday weekend. And the first female football player in America to win a scholarship has a whole lot going on outside the game. Next. Plow crews bust it each year to clear Trail Ridge Road in time for all of us to drive up and over the divide by Memorial Day weekend. And they got it done this year. I mean, the photos from Rocky Mountain National Park show the road in pretty good shape last week, but now this is this week. Yes, indeed. They are up to their windshields in the latest storm. They're up on that exposed road getting rocked around by 44-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And at this point, Rocky isn't even guessing when the road will open.
Hi there, I'm Kathy Sabin. Had the look and feel of summer today, didn't it? Could have been all the kids out of school driving around, shorts, convertible, beautiful day, temperatures in the 80s. Well, a brief break between the springtime thunderstorms that usually roll in each and every afternoon. High pressure is sliding off to the east, allowing for a cool front to move in around 2 o'clock tomorrow. And after morning sunshine, we do expect increasing clouds by about noon and a few thunderstorms that could produce a little lightning and small hail on the far northeastern plains. We're not in the outlook zone for severe clearer weather, but certainly a little change in the pattern heading into the second half of this week. Tonight, calm, quiet, and nice. Low to mid-50s with a bit of wind west of town that will calm down as we move through the overnight period. Partly cloudy, a little cooler tomorrow, but comfortable. Seasonal highs in the 70s with afternoon thunderstorms both Thursday and Friday. We see a cool day with rain on Saturday, and the second half of your weekend looks a little milder and dry with sunshine and 70 degrees, Kyle.
Kathy, thanks. Adams State and Alamosa handed her the football scholarship. Now it will be up to Becca Longo to take the honor of being the first female scholarship football player in America and turn it into a successful college career. Lori Jane Gliha from our partner at Rocky Mountain PBS traveled to Arizona, where Becca's finishing up her senior year.
At first glance, this Arizona high school senior seems like a typical teenager.
Does my nose look big?
Posing and primping, trying to capture a perfect picture to post online.
This is probably the ugliest thing on my head.
But for Becca Longo, these final fleeting moments of her high school career are far from typical. They're historic.
Now I'm on Good Morning America, ESPN, CNN, all of these huge organizations are doing interviews on me.
Longo is attracting international attention because she is believed to be the first female to receive an NCAA football scholarship and sign a national letter of intent. She'll be a kicker at Adams State University in Alamosa, Colorado this fall.
I feel like I'm having my story heard, and I'm letting people know that you can do anything that you put your mind to.
Great stories begin here, according to the campus slogan at Adams State University. And for head football coach Tim Rosenbaugh,
I mean, obviously it fits this. It does fit this.
One of those stories is Becca Longo's and how she made it on his team.
We're going to have to work our tails off, me, her, the rest of our team, to really make it a great story.
I'm always nervous the very first kick.
Longo first set foot on the field competitively as a high school sophomore.
I mean, I've done everything else. I wanted to be different.
In order to be different, Longo had to be good enough to secure a spot on the varsity team.
Your honest first impression, did you really think that she was going to end up being your kicker?
Honestly, I imagine no, but I wanted to see if she could kick. She came out and she kicked, and it was impressive.
I am so proud of that little girl.
Yeah.
She's amazing. Sorry.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
Andrea Longo has always known her daughter would achieve great things.
She always wanted to be famous.
Even from the moment Becca was born, she was defying the odds.
I'm sorry. We didn't think we could have children.
The Longos suffered several miscarriages after their son was born. And more than a decade later, Becca became their miracle.
She's our world. She's our world.
This is my favorite spot to kick from.
Why?
Because my parents usually sit right there.
How do you make sure you're accurate?
You don't aim, that's the trick. You keep your head down, and then you just follow through.
In a way, her advice for kicking a field goal to follow through is also what helped her reach her personal goal, to play college football.
I have a ton of videos on here.
She connected with Coach Rosenbaugh by sending him clips of her kicks on social media.
She put herself out there. When somebody does that to me, that kind of says something about them as a person.
As Longo looks forward to a chance to kick in a college game,
ready, get ready, get ready.
She's helping little girls around the country look forward to new possibilities in their futures too.
Go, 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 go!
Whether or not Longo makes any plays in a college game, she knows the biggest impact she will make may not be on the field.
There you go. Nice. Go ahead. I'm just trying to get people to do what they love. I'm trying to set an example, be a role model in a sense for a bunch of people out there thinking that they can't do something, and showing them that anything is possible. Run through, keep going, keep going.
That was Laura Jean Gliha reporting. Becca is going to have competition for that starting kicker job. She did also receive a scholarship to play basketball at Adams State. Women's basketball, I should note. The next viewer who caught a glimpse of his grandpa in last night's show. And the Democrats running to represent the suburbs want to hug and make nice. That's fine, but we need to know where they disagree. Next. Pride in a job well done can be inherited. by future generations. Proof of that came on this program yesterday when a viewer named Mike saw our story on the history of sidewalk stamps around Denver and realized that he was looking at the work done by his grandfather in the 1950s. Walt Flanagan was his name, and Walt clearly did quality work because it remains on the streets of Denver today. Mike carried on in the family business until the early 1990s when Walt Flanagan and Company was sold. Congressman Ed Perlmutter's run for governor means a free-for-all in the race for his district representing the north and west sides of the metro area. And it could be quite competitive. District's about a third Republicans, third Democrats, third unaffiliated. The Democrats are piling in first. Three of them join me today. State Senators Andy Kerr and Dominic Moreno and State Rep Brittany Patterson. I asked them what they alone can bring to the race and Congress.
You know, what I bring to the table, I think, is my different levels of experience, where I come from, and my different expertise. I'm the only member on this panel who has served in a local government. I'm the only person that served on the budget committee at the state capitol. I think those are skills that will come invaluable in Congress.
The reason why I started getting involved and dedicated my career to fighting for regular people is that far often we don't see the people that actually step up and run for office that are in it for the right reasons, that care about their communities, and more about what they're going to do than what they want to be.
As a classroom teacher, I bring that experience. I bring the experience of raising my 3 kids and knowing the struggles that folks in our district are going through. And one thing I don't think we have enough of in Congress are people with that real life experience.
Curious what you all think should be the approach by Democrats in Congress to dealing with the Trump administration. What should the basic outlook and approach be? And is there anything that you've heard from the president that you say, hey, I could support that? Representative Patterson.
There hasn't been one thing that I've supported that the Trump administration is putting forward. Even their infrastructure investment, I worry about privatizing some of our public investments there. So while I support the idea of investing in infrastructure, I definitely don't think that they're doing that in the right way.
And I actually think, the administration is doing its best to try to find some funding for infrastructure. I would agree with, Representative Patterson that maybe it's not the right way to do it by privatizing our public infrastructure, but they are at least trying to do that. So I would like to work with congressional Republicans to find solutions to infrastructure, to our traffic problems.
Senator Kerr, collaborate or resist?
Some of the things that the president mentioned on the stump around infrastructure was enticing, but I think we've seen that nothing he said on the stump has any bearing with what he's doing while in office.
And then they hugged. No, really, the candidates hugged each other. They're friends, they're colleagues. So that was a small portion of a longer conversation. You can see it on the next YouTube channel and on the next section of 9news.com. We'll have the Republicans in when they join the race. On the longer discussion online, we talk about who in that panel would support immediate impeachment proceedings against President Trump. And you can also watch them squirm when I asked if they would support Nancy Pelosi for Speaker of the House. A historical marker that tells the truth for once. And your feedback next. It's a sign posted at Woody Creek Tavern in Woody Creek, Colorado. It says, on this site in 1897, nothing happened. It's true. The real action at Woody Creek Tavern happened decades later when legend holds that Hunter S. Thompson would call the bar near Aspen and ask that it stay open late for him. Be like David Wood, who sent us this sign. Send us the ones that catch your eye. Email next@9news.com or use the hashtag HeyNext. Ron writes in about the female kicker, don't forget Katie Nida at CU. Actually, Ron, Katie Nida was on this program reminding people that she was never a scholarship player. Richard Stuckey writes, great news. Lots of positive stories. They all make me feel good about living in the Mile High community. Keep it up. We will, Richard. We can look at serious issues and also celebrate what makes this place great. It really begins with stop covering every little tiny thing like it's the worst thing in the world. You know what I'm saying? We'll see you next time.